Hey everybody, my name is Carlos Salgado, Executive Marketing Director with Difference Financial and Insurance Services. And I'm super excited to share this important information with you in hopes that it will lead you to want to come and learn more. Now, keep in mind, this is a very general overview, but it really encompasses the big picture of what we're here to do. So we call this the napkin presentation. So we're going to go ahead and draw a T here on the board. And we're going to split up in two categories. On the left side, we'll start with here is the 98%. And currently, 98% of Americans make under $250,000 per year. And for most people, generally speaking, most people still use traditional methods of saving money, which are the banking system, commercial banks. And in banks, you typically have these types of accounts. You have checking accounts, which as far as interest earned pay you nothing. Savings accounts, which the national average is about 0.2%. Money market accounts, which pay you about an average of 1%. And we have CDs, certificates of deposit, which right now also currently average about 1%. Now, one thing that affects all this is the current cost of living, which is what we call inflation, that has been growing steadily at an average interest rate of about 3%. So why banking or saving money has become an obsolete idea? Because most people are typically, traditionally speaking, still putting money in savings accounts, which right now average about 0.2%. So if the cost of living is 3%, but your money is growing at 0.2%, your money is actually being devalued of about negative 2.8%. That is what is happening right now in all over the world, especially in our country. Because of a lack of financial education, most people don't understand what it is to, number one, do with their money or even put their money. Now, let's focus on the right side now, which is you have the top 2% that make $250,000 or more per year, which are typically catered to by not commercial banks, but investment banks. Investment banks, commonly referred to as broker-dealers. Here's some of the popular names. You have Merrill Lynch, Morgan Stanley, Charles Schwab, Edward Jones. Oh, there's so many more. And what these companies do is they help you devise strategies, portfolios of investments that are tied to the stock market, in stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Most people commonly put money in an index known as the S&P 500 index, which is one of the most stable indexes in our stock market. And since inception in 1928, the S&P 500 has averaged about 10%. Now, you factor in inflation of about 3%, you see that the net result is about 7%. So 7% is obviously better than negative 2.8%. So in many cases, from a financial perspective, this is why rich are getting richer and poor are getting poorer. But there are many other factors that are going in here that I'd like to briefly talk with you. So to really further illustrate our point, what Difference Financial and Insurance Services does is we have the capacity to help everybody. But we're primarily focused on the left side here, which is that 98%, which is the market that is traditionally overlooked by traditional financial services industry. Why? Because this industry tends to only focus on high net worth individuals or families. And we saw a huge opening in middle class America that is traditionally overlooked here. And what we do is we help people on this side go to this side by means of education. And by education, we focus in two areas. Number one, we teach strategies here. Very basic strategies. We teach the power of interest rates. How do interest rates work and how do they affect you? Number two is we teach taxes. How do taxes work and how do they affect your money? Basic financial fundamentals and basic financial planning. We teach capitalism here. Most Americans do not understand how capitalism works. So we want to teach the power of the free enterprise system and why it's important that you must know it in order to get where you want to be financially. Number two is the most important, is we teach the psychology of money, which equates to mindsets associated with money, especially in two areas: habits, daily behaviors associated with money. Number two is what leads to those habits are beliefs associated with money. So an example of that, I'll speaking for myself, is I grew up in a household where I probably heard the term a million times before I moved out at 18 is we can't afford it. So by naturally repeating this over and over to myself, I processed it as a truth, and my reality was I couldn't afford much, which led to really bad habits associated with money. So we want to look at helping people shift their psychology in order to develop more positive habits and beliefs with money. So this is in essence what Difference Financial and Insurance Services does. So if you got value from this video, go ahead and click on the link at the bottom of this webpage and fill out our brief questionnaire, and we will get back in touch with you as soon as possible. Please feel free to share this with anybody else, and hope to meet you soon. Thank you.